Good morning, students. This is my lecture number 3 for class 11th, subject English, chapter number 1, The Portrait of a Lady, from your main course book Hornbill, and The Portrait of a Lady written by Khushwant Singh. In this chapter or in this lecture, we will first recapitulate the complete lesson and then we will proceed further with the textual questions discussion. The writer describes his grandmother as a beautiful woman but not pretty. And he says that his grandmother had been an old and wrinkled woman for last 20 years that he had known her. And she always remained in telling the beads of her rosary. She had silver hair and she used to wear a white sari. She was a very kind woman, used to feed the dogs with stale chapatis every afternoon. And the writer describes the beautiful relationship into 3 phases of their life. In first lecture, I taught you about the first phase of their life that he spent with her at village. When grandmother used to wake him up, got him ready for school, accompanied him to school, spent the whole time in the temple, and she used to do everything for the writer in the village. When they got a call from his parents to be migrated to city, it was the second phase of their life, which was considered a turning point into their relationship. The writer got a call from his parents to be shifted to city, though they were given the same room to share in their city home, but now the child became over busy as he got admission in a city school, and there he used to go by a motor bus, and grandmother could not accompany him to school now. There he was taught English lessons, all the subjects in English, and grandmother could not help him in his studies or completing homework. And then he describes grandmother's dislike for the city school, as once he told his grandmother he was given a music lesson which disturbed his grandmother a lot because to her music had lewd associations. It was the monopoly of harlots and beggars and not meant for gentlefolk. She said nothing, but her silence meant disapproval, and she rarely talked to the writer after that. After some time, the third phase of their life began when the author got admission in a university. Due to it, the author was given a room of his own, and the common link of their friendship was snapped. But the grandmother accepted her seclusion willingly. And then, after some time, the author went to abroad for higher studies. There he had to stay for 5 long years, and he thought that he would not be able to see his grandmother alive after he comes back from abroad. But he felt happy. When he came back, he found his grandmother waiting for his arrival. That day, the grandmother behaved unusual. She stopped singing the silent prayers to memorize God, but she collected all the neighborhood women and got a dilapidated drum. She started beating the drum madly, and she started singing the songs of homecoming warrior. She sang these songs to welcome the child back to home after long 5 years. All the family members asked her not to overstrain, but she did not listen to anybody. And due to this overstraining, she fell sick. A doctor was called. The doctor told that it was a mild fever that would go away in a day or 2. But the grandmother knew it was her last time that had come near to her. So she did not want to waste any moment in talking to her family members, but she started singing the prayers silently, and she started telling the beads of her rosary. After few hours, the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers, and the family members got to know she was no more. And when all the family members lifted her off the bed, as it was customary, laid her on the ground and covered her with a red shroud, they noticed all the sparrows who were usually fed by grandmother gathered in their veranda. Sparrows gathered to express their sorrow onto the death of this kind woman. The author's mother once thought that they had come to take their breadcrumbs. So she started giving them breadcrumbs, but it surprised everyone that no sparrow touched even a breadcrumb thrown by the author's mother to them, but they all flew away silently when the grandmother's corpse was taken off. It was the next morning, the sweeper swept the breadcrumbs into the dustbin, and everybody got astonished to see that the sparrows also gathered there, not for the breadcrumbs but to express their sorrow onto that pious woman. Children, this is the complete recapitulation of your chapter number 1, The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. And now we will proceed further with the textual question answers of the same chapter. Let us begin with understanding the text question number 1, in which the author has asked us to mention the 3 phases of the author's relationship with his grandmother before he left the country to study abroad. This is already explained in the description of the chapter. The answer to this question would be the 3 phases of the author's relationship with his grandmother before he left the country to study abroad are given below. The first phase was the period of the author's early childhood. During this phase, he used to live with his grandmother in the village. The grandmother used to take care of him from waking him up and getting him ready to accompany him to school, and both shared a good friendship with each other. The second phase was the time when the author and the grandmother migrated to the city to live with the author's parents, which is considered a turning point in their relationship, in their friendship, because now they saw each of very less of each other, because the child got admission in a city school and he used to remain busy in his English education. Then the third phase was the time when the author joined university. Due to it, he was given a room of his own and the common link of their friendship was snapped. The grandmother turns to wheel spinning and reciting prayers all day long. She accepted her seclusion with silence. This was the third phase of their life before the author went to study abroad. Question number 2 is, mention the 3 reasons why the author's grandmother was disturbed when he started going to the city school. The answer to this question would be, the author's grandmother was indeed unhappy after knowing that the things taught to him at city school were related to Western science and learning. And secondly, she did not believe such things that were taught at his new school. She was disturbed that there was no teaching about God and scriptures. Thirdly, she was unhappy with the idea of music lessons being given at school. She considered these music lessons suitable only for the people with low dignity. The disapproval of the grandmother was visible in her silence, because she did not like the city school at all, as she could not help him in studying because all the subjects were taught in English. Question number 3 is, mention the 3 ways in which the author's grandmother spent her days after he grew up. The answer to this question would be, the author's grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. Means she willingly accepted this seclusion as she knew that it was the demand of the time that the author had to spend more time for his education. Therefore, he could not spare time for his grandmother, and the grandmother accepted this loneliness willingly. She spent her days of loneliness by engaging herself in the wheel spinning activity, reciting prayers, and feeding the sparrows. Because in the city she could not find the roaming dogs, therefore, those roaming dogs of the village were replaced with sparrows by the grandmother in the city. And she used to spend her time in all these three activities. Question number 4 is mention the odd way in which the author's grandmother behaved just before she died. The grandmother had omitted to pray just before she died because it was a celebration time for her to enjoy that the grandson's arrival back to home after 5 long years from abroad. That day she behaved unusual. Instead of reciting the prayers, she collected all the neighborhood women and got a dilapidated drum and started singing the songs of homecoming warriors. After that, she fell sick and she laid peacefully in her bed, praying and telling her beads. Even before anybody could suspect, her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers, and the family members got to know that the grandmother was no more. She died. Question number 5 is mention the way in which the sparrows expressed their sorrow when the author's grandmother died. The answer to this question is the author's grandmother shared a unique bond with the sparrows. She seemed at her happiest self while feeding the sparrows. Therefore, the day the author's grandmother died, thousands of sparrows sat scattered around her dead body. They sat there in utter silence mourning the death of the grandmother. They took no notice of the breadcrumbs thrown at them, and they flew away silently after the dead body was taken off from the veranda. Next morning, the breadcrumbs were swept away into the dustbin by the sweeper. This was the way the sparrows expressed their sorrow when the author's grandmother died. Children, these were the 5 questions given in understanding the text. Now we will proceed to talking about the text, in which you are given 4 questions and will be doing question number 1, 2 and 3 of the same. And the first question in talking about the text is the author's grandmother was a religious person. What are the different ways in which we come to know this? So the answer would be the author's grandmother was a religious lady with a kind heart. She moved about in the house telling the beads of her rosary. Her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayers. She said her morning prayers in monotonous sing-song, hoping that the author would learn it by heart. Every day she went along with the author to his school and sat in the temple that was attached to it, reading the holy books for hours. She believed in the teaching about gods and scriptures, and even did not like that her grandson was not taught about them in the city school. All these instances or the lines that the author has written in the chapter makes us realize that the author's grandmother was a religious person. Question number 2 from talking about the text is describe the changing relationship between the author and his grandmother. Did their feelings for each other change? The story The Portrait of a Lady describes the entire phase of relationship shared by the author and his grandmother. In his early childhood, the author shared a strong bond with his grandmother. However, that tie of friendship loosened a little when they both shifted to his parents' city house. She no longer accompanied him to school and could not help him with his lessons. There was a further crack in the relationship when the author joined university, as he was given a separate room and the common link between them was snapped. They were further distanced from each other when the author went abroad for 5 long years. In spite of all these changes in the course of their relationship, their feelings for each other remained unchanged. Though she did not display her emotions, When the author was leaving for abroad, she wholeheartedly celebrated his homecoming when he returned as well. And all these instances tell us that their relationship was very strong, and though there were some changes in their relationship, but their feelings for each other did not change at all. Question number 3 is, would you agree that the author's grandmother was a person strong in character? If yes, give instances that show this. Definitely, the author's grandmother was a person strong in character, as she never raised any obstacle onto the way of her grandson's success. She was emotionally very much strong. Therefore, she was a person strong in character. Now we will take the instances from the text to prove this. The first instance is the author's grandmother was strong in character. She was a picture of contentment. She always remained satisfied and she poured unconditional love onto the child, and she never remained unhappy with the little changes came into their life. Then she had her own thoughts about the learning at school. She considered the teaching of scripture to be more fruitful than science and music. In her phase of loneliness and seclusion, she took to wheel spinning and feeding sparrows. Then she appeared composed and did not display any emotion when the author decided to go abroad for studies. Ignoring everyone who tried to stop her, she sang for several hours celebrating the homecoming of her grandson. And during the last few hours of her life, ignoring the protests of her family members, she stopped talking to everyone and took to reciting prayers and telling her beads. So all these instances prove her a person strong in character. Children, your question number 4 from talking about the text is, have you known someone like author's grandmother? Do you feel the same sense of loss with regard to someone whom you have loved or lost? This question you may write on the basis of your personal life experience, and all these questions that we have discussed are total 7 in number. Let us proceed to thinking about the language. These are very small questions that you can answer on your own. Which language do you think the author and his grandmother used while talking to each other? As you know, the author is Khushwant Singh, who belongs to a Punjabi family, so definitely they would be talking to each other in Punjabi language. Which language do you use to talk to your elderly relatives in your family that you know better? And how would you say dilapidated drum in your language? That is a broken drum. Dilapidated means broken. And these are the questions which can be answered by the students on their own, which need not to be written in Fair English Notebook. And the homework of this lecture is, I have discussed all 7 questions with you, and all these 7 questions are to be answered by you in your Fair English Notebook, and make sure you are learning them as well. I hope you people would do your homework sincerely. Thank you. This is the end of the lecture.